Hey everyone, it's Sarah and today I am back to do another subscriber requested video. So I was recently asked to make a video about my most complimented fragrances. I think I've done a video like this in the past, but this is an updated one. Yeah, so I've got 10 fragrances here and these are all fragrances that have been some of my most complimented fragrances, not only by my husband, but by people at work. So anyways, I'm gonna jump right in. I'm gonna start with this one right here. This is Stella McCartney Pop Bluebelle, and this is a perfume that, oh my gosh, I love this fragrance too. It is so darned good. This is a fragrance that I used to get complimented on this every single time I wore it to work. I would wear it to work a lot in the heat in the spring and summer, because it's a fragrance that lasts really well on me. It performs very well. So it would get me through my 10-hour workday. And I got compliments every single time I wore this. This is light and clean and slightly sweet. It's got, I don't want to say it's green, but it has this kind of green feel to it because it's so fresh smelling. It's really, really beautiful. It's also got this light perfuminess to it. And I will tell you, I have found that people really like perfumey fragrances. It's almost like they can tell you're wearing a perfume because it's kind of perfumey, and if it meshes well with your skin chemistry, which I think is like 99% of what is going on with these fragrances, these are all fragrances that just work really, really well on me. People would just really compliment me on them. But anyways, yeah, just a beautiful, clean, slightly sweet, kind of green, fresh, crisp, slightly perfumey fragrance, and I just adore it. I'm so glad I've got this big, huge bottle of it because yeah, this is one of my most complimented fragrances in my collection, hands down. So anyways, that is Stella McCartney Pop Bluebelle. The second one, this is another one. This is one of my, I would say one of my kind of man killer fragrances, because every single time I wore this, I would have so many people tell me how good I smelled. Wow. Do you guys hear that thunder? I don't know if you can hear it, but it just like boomed really loud. I guess we're about to have a little thunderstorm. My dogs are barking. They're like, what is that? Anyways, yeah, this fragrance here is Sofia Vergara Love. And I adore this fragrance. It's so cozy and sweet and yummy. It's got coffee and praline, and it's got some flowers in it, but mostly this is just kind of like a sweet, warm. Wow. My dogs do not like that thunder. It is like a sweet, warm coffee and praline kind of fragrance. It's not overly sweet. It's kind of in the same family as Black Opium, but it's not nearly as sweet as Black Opium. And it's not nearly as floral as Black Opium. This one is much more smooth, and it's much more smooth. It's still sweet, but not overly sweet. Just really, really warm and beautiful. And every time I wore this to work, I would get so many compliments on it. This was a man killer. Men love this fragrance. It reminds me of like a darker, maybe Juicy Couture kind of fragrance, something like that. It's just a people pleaser, but I love it because it's not as sweet as any of those fragrances. Not to say that it's not still a sweet perfume. It definitely is. It's just not overly sweet. But I love this. This one performs really, really well on me. Thankfully, I am one of the people that this works for. I have had a lot of people tell me that it performs very poorly on them, and I hate that. Wow, something behind me is like rattling from that thunder. I should be filming mysterious history videos right now instead of a perfume video. Definitely would have been better for the ambiance. But anyways, yeah, this is just a beauty. And again, kind of one of my man killer fragrances. People love this. I used to, like, I would have people that would tell me multiple times in the day how good I smelled when I wore this, when I wore it to work. It's just a beauty. And it's so affordable. It's like it's under $25, I would say it. So anyways, that is Sofia Vergara Love. Such a stunner of a fragrance. Gets a lot of hate. Like, and I've gotten a lot of hate. Like, in the history of my channel, I've gotten a lot of hate for liking Love. I love it. It's beautiful. Okay, this next one, this is another one of my man killers. This was definitely one of my most worn fragrances, probably year before last. I wore the heck out of it. You wouldn't think so, because I'm not missing a ton, but it's a really strong fragrance. But anyways, we're talking about Belle from Jean Paul Gaultier. This is another fragrance that either really works for you or really, really doesn't. Thankfully, the Belle line works really, really well for me. I can't wear any of the Scandal fragrances though, unfortunately. That's just a line that does not work for me. But I think some people have that experience with the Belle fragrances, like they just don't work, and I totally get it. But this is like magic on my skin. It's beautiful. It's pear and vanilla and vetiver. And it mostly is just this beautiful kind of creamy pear fragrance. It's very, very strong. Let me go ahead and spray this. Wow, I would not have sat down to film if I knew we were about to have a massive thunderstorm, but I gotta do it. Yes, it's just so good. There's something about it that is so good. I've got the intense version as well, and I love it just as much. It's exactly like this, it's just much more intense. But this is strong. It's strong pear and very strong vanilla. It's an absolute beast. This is a fragrance that used to get me through an entire 10-hour workday, and this is another one where I would have people literally tell me multiple times in a day that I smelled good. This is another man killer. This is another fragrance that men just absolutely love. And again, I think because it's sweet and warm and kind of sultry smelling. Oh my gosh, it's really youthful, but without smelling juvenile at all. It's beautiful. It's so good. I forget how much I love Belle until I pull it out and start talking about it again, and I can't wait for cooler weather to roll back around because, oh my gosh, I can't wait to pull out the intense version. It is so good. But anyways, that is Jean Paul Gaultier Belle, one of my most complimented for sure. Okay, this next one, oh my gosh, this is another one that people just absolutely love. Anytime I wear this fragrance, I get so many compliments. This is Dior Caramel Pomme Delight. And this is actually one of their concept series fragrances where they mixed Kilian Apple Brandy and Xerjoff Lyra together. So it's like Xerjoff Lyra, but if you added apple to it, this really beautiful, sweet, crisp apple note. Oh, it is so amazing. It is definitely, I love Dior's apple fragrances. I just feel like they make some of the best apple fragrances ever. This one is an absolute beast. This would last, I would say, a minimum of 12 hours. It does on me anyways. I love this. It smells like Lyra, like that beautiful warm caramel syrup that Lyra is. But if you added like a green apple note to it, so it's not like, I don't know, it's a really fresh apple, really fresh tart smelling apple, but it really ends up smelling like a caramel apple. So, but if you can just imagine adding an apple note to Lyra, it's so good. This one is, everybody loves this one on me. Anytime I wear this, I get stopped. People ask me what I'm wearing, and then it's really hard to explain to them what I'm wearing because us perfume lovers, we get it, we understand, but like just a random person is gonna be like, I don't understand what you're talking about. Like, what's a cologne house? What's, you know, what are these fragrances you're talking about? So yeah, it'd be really difficult for me to explain to people like what fragrance I'm wearing, because especially when I'm wearing cologne fragrances, if I'm ever asked what I'm wearing, I always will tell people I'm wearing a clone, but of this or these fragrances, you know, just because I feel like that's the right thing to do. I don't want to give all the credit to Dior. They made an amazing fragrance, but it's a clone of 2 different fragrances. But anyways, yeah, men, women, everybody love this perfume. This reminds me of Halloween, honestly. Every time I smell it, it reminds me of Halloween and that time of year, and then it just makes me super happy. So anyways, that is Caramel Pomme Delight from Dior. Okay, this next one, this is a fragrance that I used to get complimented on all the time when I was at work, but this is one that my husband loves as well, so this is like a really good one. This is Lolitaland from Lolita Lempicka, and this is like a creamy kind of peach fragrance, which is funny because I don't generally like peach. But it's like peach and vanilla. It's light but super creamy, warm. Oh my gosh, it is just, it's so good. This is a fragrance that anytime I spray this, my husband is like, he can smell it in the air long after I've left. And I've had him wait all day until I got home to ask me, what perfume did you spray this morning before you left? Because I could still smell it an hour after you were gone, and it was awesome. And then I'll tell him it was this one. But this is, it's so beautiful. This is another one that is very youthful smelling, but without smelling juvenile at all. It's like a warm, very creamy, slightly fruity, but mostly like a peach. But it's like a stewed peach rather than like a fresh peach. Oh, it's so good. I love it. I love this fragrance. This is a hit or miss for people though. I've had a lot of people say that they really don't like this, and which I totally get. I can understand not liking it. It has this slight kind of pepperiness to it. That is only really detectable when you very first spray it on, but after it starts to dry down, maybe after a minute, that it kind of goes away. And I'm not the biggest fan of anything kind of peppery, but it goes away really quickly, and I adore this. So anyways, this is Lolitaland from Lolita Lempicka, another one that I always get compliments on. Okay, this next one, this is one of my husband's favorites, but I used to get complimented on it every time I would leave the house wearing this. I haven't worn it in such a long time, and I need to. This is Ariana Grande Cloud, and I just adore this fragrance. I've talked about it a lot on this channel, and it's really the only, besides, somebody sent me a really, really amazing clone of Baccarat Rouge 540 X Straight, which is so good. It's kind of like, I don't know, it got me over being so over the Baccarat Rouge 540 scent profile. But it and the Ariana Grande Cloud fragrances they're like my favorite fragrances with this scent profile. And I think it's because they're so sweet. It's like sweet, it's got marshmallow in it. It's sweet, it's got a ton of notes in it. It's got like pear and praline and whipped cream and lavender in the top. It's just really, really good. It's sweet, soft smelling, super, super cozy. Can be worn any time of year. It's a lot lighter than Baccarat Rouge 540, and it doesn't have that medicinal like aspect to it that 540 has. But yeah, I love this. I used to get complimented on it anytime I left the house wearing this, and my husband loves this one, so it is definitely one of my most complimented fragrances. So anyways, that is Ariana Grande Cloud. Okay, this next one, this is another one that is a man killer. Every time I wore this perfume to work, I would get compliments on it. Like, so many people loved this fragrance. This is Elie Saab Girl of Now. I actually pulled this fragrance out because I haven't worn it in so long, and I love it so much. I pulled it out because I need to wear it before I put it away again. I love it. I want to smell the new one so bad. I haven't been able to get my nose on that one yet. You guys in Europe, you get perfumes so much quicker than we do here in the States. So I'll see people that are in Europe like have access to perfumes that I'm so sad I don't have access to. Oh, I love this perfume so much. This is Orange Blossom and Pistachio. You're gonna see a running theme here too. I've got a lot of fragrances that have pear in it in this lineup. And I guess pear is just one of those notes that works really well on me because a lot of these have pear in them and they are my most complimented fragrances. But yeah, this has got pear and almond. It's just so beautiful. I get mostly the pear, the orange blossom, the pistachio, the almond. It's got vanilla and tonka bean in the base as well. This one is just so stunning. It's one of my favorite perfumes in my collection too. And I don't talk about this often, but because it got so super hyped up, but this is a fragrance that got super hyped up that I think is absolutely worth every bit of the hype. Some people really don't like this, but man, I love it so much. It's so sweet and warm and syrupy and beautiful smelling. It's pretty unique too. Like I don't think I've ever smelled anything else that smells quite like Girl of Now. There are a lot of things that are similar, but nothing really smells quite like it. I love it. I'm so glad I've got a huge bottle of it. I've had all of the flankers at one point, which I've decluttered because nothing beats the original in my opinion. But anyways, yeah, this is a man killer, just a stunner. So anyways, that is Elie Saab Girl of Now. Okay, next we've got an Armani fragrance. This is Acqua di Gioia Essenza from Giorgio Armani. And this, I actually had a coworker go out and buy Acqua di Gioia for his wife. After smelling this on me, he loved it that much. And it's just a fragrance that I used to get compliments on all the time. This is one, I don't know how my husband feels about this one. I don't know that I've worn it enough around him to have gotten any kind of feedback, but as far as any time I leave the house, when I used to go to work, people absolutely loved this one. I still do get compliments. The girl that I work for, she'll tell me sometimes that I smell good, but it's like only one person. So I usually don't take it too much into account. Usually these are all fragrances that like I've gotten stopped in the grocery store and asked what I'm wearing. I used to get compliments when I went to work all the time. And just being out in public in general, these are fragrances that I would get, that I have gotten the most compliments on. But yeah, Acqua di Gioia Essenza, this is one that I hate it when somebody asks me what I'm wearing because it makes me feel so bad to have to tell them, I'm so sorry, it's been discontinued. It's really, really difficult to find. But Acqua di Gioia, it does smell very similar to Acqua di Gioia. This one has just got some mint in it. It's got sugar in it. And it's really, really citrusy. It's like a really citrusy mint, like sugary mint fragrance. And I love that. I don't know if the regular Acqua di Gioia has mint in it or not. I think it does, but I don't know. This one's just slightly different. And but yeah, people love this fragrance. This is another man killer. For whatever reason, men love this fragrance on me, which is funny because it's not like warm or sultry. It's really fresh and citrusy, but I will say there is still a warmth to it. I guess from the mint and the sugar, there is still this really beautiful warmth to it, even though it is quite a fresh fragrance. But anyways, that is Acqua di Gioia Essenza from Armani. Such a beauty. This next one, not only does my husband absolutely love this one, and I told you in my last video that I talked about this fragrance that he asked why this couldn't just be my signature, why I couldn't just wear this every day, but this is another one that anytime I left the house, anytime I went to work, anytime I wore this like out in public to the grocery store or TJ Maxx or, you know, just anywhere, I would have people ask me, you know, what are you wearing? You smell so good. Just tons of compliments. Let me tell you what we're talking about. Sorry. This is Valentino Donna Aqua. Oh my gosh, and this one is so gorgeous. This is another pear and almond. The most prominent note in this is almond though, but it's brightened up by that sweet pear. Oh my gosh, but it is beautiful. This one is a little bit floral smelling. This one has got, it's got frangipani and jasmine in it as well. So it's a little bit more floral than some of the others, but oh my gosh, it's super warm, cozy, yummy. I just love pear. I love pear and fragrance so much. I also love almond so much. Frangipani and jasmine are a couple of my favorite florals as well. And yeah, this is just beautiful. It smells really, really nice on me too. It's just one of those fragrances that meshes really well with my skin, and I love it. And yeah, every time I wear this, I get asked questions, and it's another one that is so sad when I have to tell people that, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, but this one's been discontinued. And there's really not another, you know what, let me look it up and see if there's another fragrance that smells like this. I imagine that there is. People say Almond Blossom from Bath & Body Works. I'm not getting that. People also say Burberry Brit Rhythm. Oh no. People say Burberry Brit Eau de Toilette, but it gets 44 thumbs down and only 29 thumbs up. So yeah, there's just not really anything. People even compare it to Girl of Now, and it's definitely not. There's not anything really that I've ever come across that smells just like this. Yeah, so I don't have an alternative, but oh my gosh, I love it, and people love it, and it's such a good one. So anyways, that is Valentino Donna Acqua. I feel like I've been going on and on about every one of these. Okay, and then last but not least, we have this perfume is just such a classic at this point. This is Miss Dior Cherie from Dior, the original 2005 formulation. This is a perfume that every single time I wear this perfume, I get so many compliments on it. People love this fragrance, and I can totally see why. It's stunning. It's got strawberry and mandarin. It's got a caramel popcorn note in it. It's got patchouli in it. Musks. It's just such a beautiful classic perfume. It's perfumey in like the best way possible. It's sweet. I think you get the sweetness from the strawberry, but it's not like a literal strawberry. You really get that beautiful caramel popcorn note, but again, it's not a literal popcorn. There's just something about the way this one is composed. It is just stunning, and people love it. Anytime I wear this, I get compliments, and I love wearing this over the Soap & Glory Righteous Butter Lotion because it smells so much like this, and layered, it's just so strong. It's funny, last time I did that, I think I mentioned to you guys in a video, I went outside to talk to my husband. He was across the creek from me, like in the neighbor's yard across the creek, and he was like, I can smell you from here. And I was like, well, that's a good thing. But yeah, it's just so good. It's one that just mixes really well with my body chemistry. People absolutely love this fragrance, and I love it. It's so good. It's definitely one of my most complimented fragrances. So anyways, that is Miss Dior Cherie, the original 2005 formulation of the EDP. And that is it, guys. Those are 10 of my most complimented fragrances in my collection. I do hope that you all enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.